And for all you guys that are here, we appreciate you hanging out with us. A blanket hello to everyone in the chat. Let's see, who do we have here? We got Julie in the house, Horror Queen in the house, RJ, what's up? Good to have you. Erica, of course, good to have you. We got Melissa. What is up, Melissa? We appreciate you being here. About 17 ninjas. 17 ninjas. Wow. That's a lot of ninjas. And I'm a fan of ninja movies, so I'm just saying. Ray's in the house. Wayne, good to see you. We got Sarah. What's up, Sarah? We got Shanta in the house. Shanta's ready for Stranger Things. Messaged me and was all about the hype. Love it. Love it. Hope you're doing well. Lindsay's in the house. And for everyone else that has jumped in, and including Paula and Jen, good to have you guys here. Hope that you're doing well. Guys, how you feeling today? Jake, you're dancing. I mean, do we want to start with you?
I actually got some sleep and I got coffee in me. I feel like $1,000,000 tonight. I've never been more ready for a Lethal Collective stream in my life.
Wow. and of course we have our resident, wonderful, lighthearted, forgiving friend, Fate Decided. What's up, man?
I'm good. I'm here. I'm excited, to join two just trifling betrayal. I mean, the it's fine. I'm here. We're happy.
Hey, let me say something. When I played that, right, I didn't even tell Jake about it. I actually kind of had forgotten a little bit about it, right? And then Jake's in the backstage, and when it comes up, he decided, I love Halloween or Halloween Kills or whatever. He starts cracking up, and then I realized, oh crap, that's right.
I immediately saw it too. Like it was not getting past me. I was like, oh cool, he put one of my quotes in there. Like that's so sweet, And then I saw Fates, and I'm like, oh man, let's go, dude. So that made me very happy.
Yeah.
You know how I saw it? You know how I saw it? Because this is the kind of gentleman. This is the kind of friend that I am, right? I saw you were live. You were like, I was like 3 minutes behind. So I was like, hey, instead of picking up 3 minutes in, let me help Knight's algorithm. Let me help Knight, get the watch time. So let me start from the beginning so I can get caught up and kind of just piece it through. So I literally did. Started from the beginning, and I was like, how dare he? And I will never do that again. I will never.
It's all out of love, man. And to be quite honest, that whole thing, not to bring that back up, but Jake knows where I'm going with it. That the inspiration of it was just, there's certain things that people like, other than you, Fate, of course, that was a joke, but everyone that knows you knows that was a joke. So it was actually kind of giving you credit in a funny way, but everyone has their own little sayings or whatever. And it was kind of a little bit of a discussion that we had for a minute or two into the stream. So that's where it came from. And I just decided to have some fun with it. Notice I said decided to have some fun with it. I love you.
Go ahead, get out. Go ahead.
All right, so real quick, people in the chat like, what are we doing here? This is supposed to be a collective stream.
We're talking about how much we love Halloween Kills is what we're talking about. All three of us, everyone loves it. So,
what you're doing right now is you're seeing the fall of the collective.
Oh, jeez. So, do you remember when? What was that we had a joke going on? It was like, it's over. We're getting done, or something like that. Do you remember that? Like
we came on with a fake fight.
That's right.
Yeah,
people thought it was
me
real.
Me and Jake had a Twitter battle. Twitter beef.
Yes.
And then it turned in, and then we were like playing up the jokes. Well, no, actually, we were playing up the jokes first, and then we decided, or Jake decided. We didn't decide. Jake decided to take it to Twitter. So then, of course, I was like, "Oh, I can't let this slide." So I had to throw in my jab, and then it was
over.
It went very badly. Like people were taking side. I mean, it was Sidney Sam.
Yeah.
Cancel one or the other level. Like it was crazy. I was getting messages and emails.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff from people like, what happened? I thought you guys were like best friends. And I was like, fuck that guy.
People thought it would be. I had someone, I can't remember who it was, but literally said, are you guys seriously going to stop? This is crazy. Don't do it. Can you say something to patch it up? And I played it off and stuff. But yeah, that was funny, man.
I know.
Oh my God.
I think Craven messaged us. It was like, all right, guys, this has to stop.
As usual, he was the voice of reason.
Yeah, he was like, people are really upset about this.
Yeah. He could always like tether everyone in. Real quick too, I just want to say a shout out to Julie. Julie has a channel member anniversary, 26 months. You rock, the wig master herself. She says Mark did not bite the dust in the trailer. There you go, Julie. I love it how she put that in there. Good stuff. So look. Look at Davey. Davey's in the house. Is Fate ready to apologize to me for poo-pooing my prediction that Kevin Williamson would have a writing credit on Scream 7? I'm just messing with y'all. What's up, Davey? Look at that. People remember stuff, man. They don't let it go.
Yeah, like all. Myself. Yeah, never.
Oh, jeez.
I forget, but I never forget.
You gotta love them. All right. So look. Let's start off. I do want to go through, what I had said in the title is that I wanted to go through some Scream characters. Not every single one, but I have a little list that I made up or whatever, and we're going to go through it and tear it out and stuff like that. But before we do that, let's just start off. We got a lot of people in the chat that are still very hype off of what's going to be happening with 7. How about if we just kind of go around? Where's our temperature right now? We've had a couple of weeks to let it kind of, absorb and so forth. Jake, let me start with you. We've talked a lot about this even on our Thursday nights. Where are you at now, man? Has the shine worn off?
Well, I feel like 7's going to be another movie like Scream 6, where I think we're walking out of it with some positives and some negatives. I feel like it's going to be Scream 6 starring Sidney Prescott. That's kind of how where I'm sitting with it now. I don't think that's entirely a bad thing, though. I kind of, how I feel about that movie. I feel like it's got some real strong positives and some negatives that we break down every now and then. So I feel like we're getting in for another like kind of complicated mixed bag like that. I want a true return to form, which is just kind of going back to, what 1, 2, and 3 were, but maybe just with some more brutal kills or something like that. But this just, the way it's looking to me, it just looks like it's going to be this big, grander story rather than the smaller contained murder mystery that I'm kind of yearning for.
Oh, okay. All righty. Fate, how about you, man?
I mean, look, the shine's still there. I think it will be until we actually see the movie. But obviously, I have my concerns, my questions, right? Yeah. I really think that there is an opportunity here to bring some real freshness in life while still maintaining familiarity. Mm-hmm. Right, you have the familiarity with Sidney and Gail and stuff like that, but you have an opportunity to bring some real freshness to the franchise. 7 films in, right? Because this doesn't have to be another run-of-the-mill Sidney film. There's so many different potentials and possibilities that you can do and go with it, from Ghostface to the family dynamic to telling a Sidney story, right? Like, my concern is that this is going to be another Scream movie just reskinned rather than its own original thing, because there are so many original elements to this, particularly Sidney's family, right? Like, before Scream 5, we didn't even think that was a possibility, right? We didn't even think that was an idea that could happen. And now here we are with her having 3 children and, a husband and all these other things. I mean, even the husband dynamic. I mean, think of her love life. Between Billy and Derek and stuff like that, the fact that, she finally found somebody that she loved and trusted enough. She clearly has a type because, he's a cop, right? Like, does that stem all the way back from Dewey? Dewey being a cop, like kind of her, in many ways, first love, not in like it doesn't have to be necessarily in a romantic sense, but, kind of that love for her, even though in Scream 4, they did have that moment. If you remember,
they really did, man. I always talk about that.
Like it's kind of that love that will never happen type thing. But it's just, again, I mean, and then Mark Kincaid being a detective. I mean, he wasn't a cop, but he was still a detective, right? So she clearly has a type. Like, these are all things that like add new freshness to it. And I'm hoping that what that does is it brings us the like getting some familiarity with some freshness is what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think that for me, I think the shine is still there. I mean, because you get that initial kind of like, boom, here's the trailer, and you start to see certain things, you start to wonder certain things, and now it's really about kind of formulating, your thoughts and your hopes and the possibilities of what we know already and what it looks like things could be. So I'm still really hyped about it. I will say this, the reason I brought it up, and we'll go around one more time. The reason I brought this up, and I put this out in a poll in several places, do you guys feel, and obviously Jake, I'll start with you. Do you guys feel that Scream, as a franchise, obviously Scream 7, do you feel like it's like oversaturated? And then of course I'm talking about online. Like, do you feel like it's kind of worn people down, whether it's longtime franchise fans or people that were kind of on the fence, or even just the average horror fan that really has no stake either way in Scream? Do you think it's become oversaturated? Because I'm telling you, dude, we all have talked about how much people are just really digging Scream talk.
Well, I think one of the big things is, and we talk about it all the time, we can't complain. We're all very lucky to be in the positions we are. But there are times where, we'll try to talk about something else and, it just doesn't get the same amount of attention for whatever reason or whatever. I have talked to, I've I don't want to get too much into it, but I've actually been on multiple phone calls within the last couple of weeks, just with other horror YouTubers and stuff, just asking, kind of just like asking for advice on stuff. Cause I'm trying to branch out into other stuff, and it's tough, with the Scream stuff. It's it dominates. It's a real easy thing to kind of just start talking about and get into. And I think that with these new movies not only being super successful, but with they're prospering. You know what I mean? There's going to be more. We're talking about how there's a Scream 8 already ready to go. There might be some sort of Kirby spin-off project in the future. You know what I mean? There's so much Scream stuff on the horizon, and there's a huge fan base out there to support it. I think that's why you have, just a lot of people checking it out. And that's why you also have a lot of content creators talking about it too. So if you're feeling oversaturated, what I would say to that, if you're feeling like there's too much Scream content out there, start watching some of the other stuff. Like seriously, if you want to see content about other stuff, the problem is it's that there's just doesn't seem to be the same draw. I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm not doing this to self-promote. I'm saying this to genuinely, hopefully, spread out some of this love across multiple topics, because I think Scream is great, but I also think there's other awesome stuff going on out there. I'm putting out a Frankenstein review tomorrow.
Ooh.
If you guys want to see us talk about other stuff outside of Scream, watch this video. And I'm sure Knight's got some stuff talking about other movies. And Fate, you talk about that From series all the time.
That's right.
Actually, I actually have more. Well, it died down because they took a year and a half to get released. But I at one point I was getting insane views. Like I was getting live streams with like 500 people in the live stream for From. Like From was like huge for me. So it's just, I think part of it, to like piggyback off of what you're saying, Jake, though, I think part of it is also us as content creators. So like I've started personally making videos about, like I talked about the Betty Boop horror thing, right? Like I think we as content creators, we get lost in the algorithm, right? And it's easy to default, to be fair though, like me and like I have my sports and Lakers stuff, so I can afford to experiment more, if that makes sense. Where like somebody like Jake, you do Killjoy Jake for a living, right? So like if you can't throw out, like a week's worth of just other content and it all does terrible because that's a week worth of your finances, you got bills, stuff like that, where like Fate Decided is kind of just extra for me. So I can experiment more, but I've been trying to make more of an effort of getting out other horror content, even if it does poor, just because, that's how I discovered the From thing. I just made a From video. It didn't do too good. And then, but I was like, I really want to talk about it. So I made another one and it didn't do too good. And then I made another one and then that hit. I think it was like my third From video. I got like 12,000 views or something like that on. And then that caused the other two to pick up because YouTube was like, oh, hey, here's more of his From stuff. And then it just was a speed train. So I think we get lost because it's like you mentioned it earlier. Like it's easy to default to Scream. You know, it's like because I've done it. Like I've made like 5 videos in a row, and they all like one's got like 150 views, another one's got like 80 views, another one's got like 250 views, and I'm like, well, if I make a Scream video, I know I'm clocked in at least 1,000, if not more, right? So I'm like, let me make a Scream video.
Well, and I'll just throw this out there as well. I don't think it's because there's a lack of interest. Like that's the thing.
Right.
Like I'm
caught in the algorithm.
Yeah, I think it's just YouTube sees you talk about something else also, and then just doesn't know what to do with it if you talk about something that's too outside of your thing. And like there are people that are only interested in Scream, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but I do feel like I don't want to get to the point where I'm sick of talking about it. And believe it or not, I'm not. Like right now I'm actually kind of like I'm excited to be talking about Scream again.
Life to it.
Well, with that trailer, right? It's like there's all new talking points. Like I'm finally feeling like I'll be honest with you guys. Back in maybe September, I just felt like I'm just repeating myself, and I can't when I try to branch out too much. It's just not doing as well. So what I'll say is that I think there is new life breathed into it right now, and that's why content is so oversaturated because there's new talking points. There's all new people who can start to break into it and all that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But make the effort to talk about other stuff too. If this is to the content creators out there,
there are a lot of them.
Yes, make the effort to talk about the other stuff. Do what you got to do and all that, but make that effort to get the other weird shit out there.
Yeah,
I would argue though that it's not saturated. And the reason for that is because, again, it continues to get views and people continue like something that's oversaturated. Like people get sick of. Like I think it has the potential, like not even from a content creator perspective, because I think from a content creator perspective, as long as there's freshness in the films, there'll always be freshness in the content. You know what I mean? Like if they start doing like cool creative things, I think personally, the reason Scream isn't oversaturated yet is because they've kind of, by accident, but kind of stumbled into some originality while not meaning to. And what I mean by that is like, so you had such a gap from Scream 4 to Scream 5 that when we got the new Scream 5, it was bigger. I mean, it was bigger than even right now. I mean, the views that I get now on Scream stuff is nowhere compared to Scream 5. I mean, dude, I could talk about like Ghostface's sparkly robe, and that would get like 50,000 views. Like it's like what like Scream 5 had that like
because of the break.
Yeah, because of the break.
Yeah.
So there was like this originality, this freshness to it. And then you had this wasn't just a Sidney movie, it was Sam and Tara and all that stuff.
Right.
And Ortega was kind of this rising star. So I think you just had the right kind of concoction mixed together to add that excitement. And then Scream 5, you had kind of like the mix rate. You had people that loved it, but you also had how poorly Sam was. So you had all these different talking points. Jenna Ortega's talking about, Sam's talking about, was the movie good or bad? Like you had all these like different things that you could talk about. Yeah. And the post, oh yeah, by the way, we're getting a Scream 6. So here's a bunch of new stuff to tie into that. So, and then from there, I don't know how successful, if we continue down the path of just kind of regurgitating things though, with the films, not the content side of things, right? I don't know how long that's sustainable. Like if this is another Sidney movie, like same old copy paste, whatever, Scream 3, and then we get Scream 8, and then that is just like another Scream copy paste of Scream 4, which I think eventually you're going to, like people are going to be like, okay, like here we go. Like there will still be the audience, but I think now we're starting to get into that oversaturated area because it's just like, you already get talks a lot of times. I get a lot of comments from people that are like, I'm worried this is going to be just that again, right? Like, what?
Well, I was going to say, no, I totally agree with you. And one thing that I've said, and we were talking about it on Thursday, is that's why I hope that with 7, yes, Sidney is a focus. It's Sidney centric in its, story, but there's a lot that can be explored with her being a mother. Like there is a big difference, and I can't speak as one because I'm not, but there's a big difference between a single lady and a mother. I'm not talking about Billy's mother. I'm talking about a mother. You know what I'm saying? So, there could be some really cool things that they explore in this film. Do I think they're going to do all of that? I don't think so. I do think they'll be a little bit more simple. And that could be also because, I'm not saying that they don't want to take big risk in a way they kind of are with some other things, but I think that with Sidney's part of it, that's kind of a locked in angle, to the movies. People love Sidney, they love Nev. So give her some cool stuff to do. Don't go too crazy with her aspect of the story. Give her a lot of time like she has. And then you'll have a movie that can not only be fresh, but also set up maybe something that's very cool for 8. Like we were talking, Jake and I, we were talking about 8. What if Scream 8 is like super different? Like 7 is kind of a setup. I mean, it's still a contained proper movie, a beginning, a middle, and an end. But what if in 8, if we do have it be a continuation cliffhanger style, and we have a Ghostface that survives, what if 8, a lot of the film or a big part of the film is from the perspective of Ghostface? This whole idea that we had in the beginning of 6 with Jason and Greg. What if we have a film that has maybe 25% of that in the movie? Like we're seeing the perspective of Ghostface or the Ghost Faces. That would be really cool and start to send us into a different direction that, especially for us hardcore fans, have been watching this stuff for decades. We could literally say, wow, we didn't expect that. And even though it's different, it still works as a Scream film. That's what I'm hoping for.
My question is how big of a swing are they willing to go? Because I mean,
yeah,
the problem is right now, based on 5 and 6, they've gone. I mean, even 7, you can argue they've gone the safe route. Right?
Yeah.
Scream 5 was very 96-esque. They did the 4 West. They even had these kind of outs, like when people kind of complained to her, like, oh, this was just like the fan film, right? Like, and then they kind of did the safe thing with Scream 6 too, right? Like, I mean, really safe. I mean, like I said, no one died, right? Like, so they went the extra safe route. Like, yeah, they did some cool things. You could argue that they took some risks in some areas with like Ghostface and the shotgun and stuff like that, but it's not like a risk in the sense of like the overall film and story. It's just like little singular moments that like, you can just kind of move past if it doesn't work, right? Like, how like Scream 4 in a lot of ways was a risky film. And to be fair, it didn't have success. I don't think it didn't have success because it was a risky film. I think it didn't have success because of proper marketing. Yeah. But that could also be something that they're looking at too, is like the riskiest film that we've had is Scream 4, and it's the only one that flopped. So does this studio look at it and go like, do we really want to take those risks? Now you could argue with Sidney and her family and stuff like that, but even the Sidney dynamic is a safe dynamic, right? They lose Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. Instead of going, okay, let's just tell a new story with new characters and kind of just like create this new thing. No, let's just make it. Like, what's the safest bet? What is the safest format? Let's bring Sidney back and tell a new Sidney story. And,
in all fairness, can I throw something in there about 7? There's so much correlation and similarities between this film and Scream 3 and also Scream 4. But in terms of Scream 3, like if Kevin Williamson kind of gets to do his version of Scream 3 here, like kind of taking elements from that movie, like the voice changer, for instance, and actually utilizing that for some element of commentary, like I think he's going to be doing here. Like it's going to be kind of vilifying AI with Ghostface using it, for instance. Like let's say that's the route they take with it. Could this be a better version of 3? A more screamy version, or Kevin Williamson's true version of Scream 3? I could kind of vibe with something like that. Like you're never going to do... Even though I have my issues with 2, I feel like you're never going to top Screams 1 and 2 for Scream fans. Like these are movies that are wildly beloved, have so much coatings of nostalgia. You're just never going to you're never going to top those things. Taking ideas from those movies in particular and trying to, reformat modern movies with them, that's never going to work. Like how obviously it doesn't for you, Fade. But I feel like with Scream 3, there's opportunity to do things differently in a modern way and in a more Kevin Williamson way, which that could be what's going on here. You guys know I've been a pretty big naysayer for a lot of the things with Scream 7, but in that department, I feel like this movie could be a total success.
Yeah, I hope so. I really, really do. Real quick too, just to jump to the chat. I know you guys have been working hard. Erica, thank you so much for putting it in there. You guys are reminding, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps us out so much. We got Sean coming in with a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, Sean. We appreciate the support. Much love, much love. Thank you so much. Mr. Rick with a channel member anniversary. What is up, bro? 8 months. Can't stay, but I'm going to watch the watch on rewatch. Can't believe it's been 8 months. Can't wait to see what Scream 7 is all about when it comes out. Hell yeah, man. Thank you so much, Rick. We appreciate you, bro. Sean coming in again with another super sticker. Bro, you're on fire. Thank you, man. Seriously, we appreciate you. We got Oliver also, lucky number 13, baby. Going back to New Jersey here. What's up, man? Good evening, everyone. I hope all is well. Spoiler alert, I'm the killer in Scream. So you are? What?
Just ruined it for us.
I knew it. You heard it live here. Thank you so much, Oliver. We love you, man. Sarah, I had to do this one. Sarah said, if this is way back earlier in the conversation, if this is the end, then you'll have no problem releasing your original name idea. Just saying. They've been trying to figure out what the original name is. It's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious.
I will say, whenever this gets brought up, I will say what I have said since the beginning. It is right in front of you.
It is right there.
I mean, it's very obvious. Like
it is. It has never been more obvious.
You know what's funny is if somebody figures it out and then everyone catches. Like all it's gonna take is for one person to figure it out and everyone's gonna go, oh my god, like that, like that's it, like.
Okay.
You bunch of nerds. That was it the whole time.
I will give another hint, and I genuinely don't think this gives it away. I genuinely don't think that. I don't. I'm confident in saying that. It is something that involves all four of us. It is something like all four of us coming together. It involves that. And it's literally right in front of you. That's all I'm going to say. That's all. It is literally.
Sarah is going to be messaging me later on, throwing out ideas. They did that a couple times. They're like, "What about this? What about this? What about that?" I'm like, sorry, ladies. No. We love you, Sarah. Seriously. Hollywood guy also with the channel member anniversary, 25, the big 25, a quarter. Hey, collective, what's going on? Hey, do you guys think that Scream 7 would be a passing of the torch, mother to daughter? Sidney's daughter. What do you think, Jake?
I definitely think this is going to be another passing of the torch film. But can we find a way to do it, to hopefully do it differently? You know, I got to admit, Isabel May's in a tough spot here. You know, this is our third go around of passing the torch to a character. And, you know, again, going back to what I was saying earlier about repeating ideas from the past, you know, are you ever going to do the passing of the torch better than what we did with Jill in Scream 4? I just don't think so. I mean, it's so Scream. It's such a great misdirection. How are you going to do that but better? You know, I don't know, but I'm hoping that she does. You know, I would hate for another new character to get tossed aside, like Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega's characters, because I thought they had some potential there and now they're gone. So I hope that Isabel May has some better luck in this franchise.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I hope so too. Fate, what about you, man? Do you think this is going to be a passing of the torch, mother to daughter?
I do, but I don't think it's going to be fully from like 7 to 8. I think it's going to be very Halloween through Halloween ends, where you know you had Laurie, Sidney, forefront. It's her film, it's her movie, and then you started to see kind of that transition from Laurie to Allison, and then by ends, it's an Allison movie. Right?
Yeah,
I think that's what we're going to get here. I think you'll get. This will be the Sidney movie. Scream 8 will be very Isabel May-esque, but Sidney will still be, I think, a big integral piece. And then I think Scream 9, which I do think they're going to have a Scream 9, I think that they'll end up having some, you know, that transition, that movement. So,
yeah,
you know, as far as Isabel May, because I do think at some point she's going to be the new face of the franchise. I really do. I think it really boils down to a couple of things, right? I think it boils down to the writing and how well they, you know, give her, or how much they give her to work with, because, you know, you're talking.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I just paused. Hit the pause button for 2 seconds. Lindsay. I love you, Lindsay. I love you, dude. I just want you to know that. Four guys.
We're gonna start. Hey,
we're gonna put on T-shirts and just say 4 guys.
That's the secret name that we've been hiding from you guys.
Can I say something? And Faith, don't forget your point, man, because I think you were cooking. But when we had the conversation, people probably do not care about this, but I'm gonna do it anyways because we love to hang out. When we were trying to think of the name, I mean, we had a couple different things we just threw out there. This is what we should have done. 4 guys. Do you know how that would have been so
just
cool.
4 guys. That's it. Just 4 guys. Okay, one more thing and I'll shut up. Another hint, Craven did not like the name.
Yeah, Craven was very against it. We'll put it like that.
Hey, look, and in all fairness, we're gonna give it away at some point, guys, by keep getting close to the edge of the cliff.
We'll sell it to the highest bidder.
Steven, you gotta love Steven because the look on his face, he was like, you could tell, how you like when you have a parent that totally thinks like you're an idiot, but they want to tell you, I still love you. That was kind of the face that he had. It was kind of, guys, come on, bro.
He was sweating. I mean, he was literally like, I can't do that. That can't be the name.
I was like, yeah.
Oh,
that's why it's great. Like,
yeah.
Craven is the way he, he was very against it. Like
he pulled us away from the cliff. That's what he did. Yeah. No lie.
My favorite thing was how he tried to like pander us a little bit, yes. Right? Of oh yeah, well, hey, maybe we can do like merch or something with it, like we just
could you imagine that?
Yeah, maybe we could just maybe we could do something with it. You know what we'll do? We'll create a meme coin and rug pull everybody. We'll call it.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
We'll call it that. And then, don't worry. The Leave the Collective meme coin is coming.
And look what Oliver said. Craven the Jake decided zone. There you go. Wow. You really went there, Oliver.
It's actually very easy and simple. People are overthinking it. It's really not that complicated. It really is. It's really
when we tell y'all, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad.
That's why I'm afraid to say anything to the mods because they're trying to cook this thing up, and I'm like, dang, now if I tell you, you guys are gonna be so upset. It's like, wow.
Everyone's gonna be very disappointed.
Lindsay's on a roll though. 4 dudes.
You're getting closer. you're almost there.
4 dudes. I love it. Oh, sweet goodness. Anyways, Faith, do you remember where you were at? Because you were cooking with the Isabel May.
I couldn't help myself. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, when it comes to Isabel May, see, the problem with Sam is the writing and direction for her was not good. It wasn't. Right? And I don't think it was a Melissa Barrera thing. And I even defended Melissa Barrera because, you saw in Scream 6, they gave her more leeway. She was able to express more emotion and act out and all this stuff. And then you saw people kind of come around to her in Scream 6, right?
Yes.
They have to allow Isabel May's character to really kind of to hit with an audience. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. Now, you're going to have just a natural audience built in just because it's Sidney's daughter. So you're gonna have people that she could be the worst character in the franchise, and there's gonna be a group of people that love her regardless, just because she's Sidney's daughter. But I'm talking about for the general public, the general audience, and the majority, they have to do right by her. They have to really develop her as a character. They really have to give her substance, give her purpose. Yeah. Right? Purpose seems to be our word here lately. They need to allow her to show that acting degree rather than hey, here, we're just going to put you in this box because this is a Sidney film or whatever, right? You saw Allison. Allison had, you had development with her. You told story with her. The conspiracy board. And then on top of that, you gave her substance that allowed her to connect with an audience. People liked Allison. So you made that transition into her, right? If this is another here's her just to be here, then people are going to be very disappointed, and it's not going to work.
I agree.
One last thing to Jade's point, how do you outdo Scream 4? I don't even think you try.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Jill wasn't the final girl. She wasn't the new character.
Right.
It was set up to be that, and then they did the reveal, right, that she was the bad guy. So I don't even think you have to worry about Scream 4 because she wasn't that. I think you have to top Scream 5 with Melissa Barrera and Sam because that was so poorly received. So if they do right by that, I don't think you try to upstage Scream 4. I think you just have to give us a good character that we can rally behind now. Because again, Jill would have been that had they not turned her into Ghostface, but they turned her into Ghostface. Sam was they just dropped the ball on Sam so poorly that now it was okay. We got to scramble and now get people. It's the first impression, right? First impression is always the strongest. It's hard to establish a character. Everyone dislikes her, and then try to reframe it to now have people on board. It's really hard to do. So they cannot miss on this. They have to make sure she is set up, whether they make the transition this film or I would personally slowly build her up, right? Because I think if you just try to make that shift in this film, I think it's too much. You're going to fall flat. I thought they did a really good job with Allison in Halloween. Halloween Kills trash, Halloween Ends trash, but that was one of the things that they did.
Wow.
But no,
that's not what Fate Decided said on Thursday night.
That is true. That is, yeah.
Don't worry, the defamation lawsuits will be in the mail.
I'm sorry.
The Allison to Lori, like you had Lori forefront. They didn't try to make Allison the main character. You slowly started to see that build, but you could clearly see in Halloween 18, Allison was going to be moved to the forefront. Like they established her as like, hey, this is going to be the girl, right? Yeah. But it was a Lori movie. And then you slowly saw that transition. And then by ends, it became a whole, Allison movie. That's how I think they need to handle this upcoming Scream. Don't just like, hey, here's Isabel May. She's the new character. Because then you're going to take away from Sidney, and then it's going to be too convoluted. So,
I agree. I mean, I think the last thing I'll say to it, and then we're going to get to some fun stuff. I do think they're taking a lot of cues. We were talking about on Thursday night some cues from Halloween, and this is actually a very smart cue to take from them because I think Allison was such a great character in 2018, and I think even in Kills there were some good things that she did. The story was kind of all over the place, but if they can achieve that with Isabel, I think that they're set up for the future very well. And I agree. I don't think they're going to necessarily they're not going to try to do Scream 4. I think Kevin looks at it the same way a lot of us would look at it. Why try to do that again? That was great the way it was, and it was set up to do a certain thing, and it did it. And of course, Wes passed away afterward. But I'm just saying, I think that to even think about trying to recapture what they did with 4, as far as Jill as a character and trying to emulate that, I think would be a big fail. And I don't see Kevin co-signing on that whatsoever. I really don't. Hollywood guy, that was a great question. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of the support and questions and the love. Guys, let's do this. I wanted to tackle some characters, man, because we've talked a lot about characters and we love a lot of these characters in the franchise. And so what I wanted to do was to bring up a little list and kind of see what we think, man. Kind of go through some of the good, the bad, and maybe even the ugly of the franchise. All right, so let's pull this up, man. Okay, hold on one second.
Oh yeah, we got cream there, baby.
Yeah, wait a second. What?
I just see that cream's that's my favorite part about doing this with you, Knight, is the fact that there's cream at the top. Just for the record, I just want it to be known. That's all.
You heard it first. Rick loves Knight's cream.
Oh, here we go. You knew he'd have to find something. So look, we've got some characters to go through. We're not gonna get through them all, but we love to obviously talk about their good moments and maybe some of the moments that aren't that great. So we've got multiple places. Sarah's like, the cream always rises to the top. Sarah, you're all right. She's no joke. So the top level, of course, is the cream. That's the best. Our second level is favorite scary movie, which means that It was pretty good. Carnage Candy is in the middle. You could take it or leave it. Billy's mother means that we did not like this character or they were not effective whatsoever. And then, of course, the fuck you is like, they shouldn't have even been in the movie. That's basically how we're doing.
Dog water.
Oh man.
That was the day. That was it. That was the best way. It should always be dog water. Dude, I say that like regularly now because of you guys.
Wow.
Too funny. I'm like, that was dog water. Like,
I love this guy. I do too. I do too. All right. So look, let's for the fun of this, we'll move through this as quick as possible, but not too fast. We're talking first about Dewey. Jake, Dewey from Scream 4. What do you think? Where should Dewey from Scream 4 go?
Specifically just Scream 4? Like are we counting? Okay. Okay,
because we've got multiple versions of some of the characters.
Interesting. Okay, I like that because I was thinking Dewey as a whole, but I'm like, oh, Dewey is a okay. Just Scream 4 Dewey. Okay. I mean, definitely not my favorite iteration of Dewey. I will say that he is my favorite character. I've been on record to say that he's my favorite Scream character. But admittedly, in 4, I don't know if he gets as much to do as in like 5 or even like the original film. 4, I do like his back and forth with Judy though, and I think that's kind of fun. And then with Gail, of course, too. You know, he's right in the middle of that whole thing. Man, I'm really just trying to think about more Dewey moments from that movie, and that's really all that's coming to mind. You know, there's not a whole lot of. It's not really a Dewey movie. You know, I'm gonna say honestly, this is maybe controversial, but Carnage Candy, like middle of the road for this Dewey performance.
Ooh, okay, all right. Fate, what do you think? Are we going with Carnage Candy for Dewey, or are we going to higher or lower?
I think if you want to go Carnage Candy, I won't fight it too much. I would be okay with Billy's mother, honestly. Like, it's probably the worst Dewey. Like, if you're talking about Dewey as a character, right?
Yeah.
Like, he has nice moments in Scream 4, don't get me wrong, right? Like, you know, a couple heartfelt moment stuff, but like even the version of Dewey in that movie wasn't very Dewey, right? Like, you know, you think of Dewey and how goofy he is in Scream, and then, you know, Scream 2, he's kind of like a less self-aware version in a way, like, and then Scream 3, he's kind of like this, like, slided, kind of like trying to, like, the slick back hair, trying to be like the cool guy. Like, it's great. Like, and then Scream 5, Scream 5 is arguably, they did a really good job with Scream 5.
They did.
This story, stuff like that. Like, that's one of the positives from it. Scream 4, in my opinion, is the worst version of Dewey as a character. I felt like, you know, he was just, I almost felt like it was like somebody else playing Dewey. Like, even his mannerisms and stuff, and like the way that like he talked about stuff didn't really feel very Dewey in that movie. So I agree, either Carnage Candy or, like I said, I wouldn't mind Billy's mother. I love Dewey overall as a character. Yeah, I mean, he'd be at the top, but specifically Scream 4, I think, he's middle of the pack. Okay,
for me, to kind of break the tie here, I love Dewey. I truly do. David is a treasure, but I have to kind of agree. I think we're going to have to go middle of the road in 4 specifically. So I agree. Let's go to Carnage Candy. You guys in the chat, let us know what you think. We can't get to everyone, but we'll try to get as many as we can. Let's go to our next character. We're going with Kirby. Fate, let's start with you. Kirby in 6. What do you think?
Kirby in 6? I think she's fuck you. Like, I mean, they didn't add to her character. Like, even her story and backstory and everything like that made no sense. Like, it was all over the place. Like, her portrayal in Scream 6, I thought was terrible. She had limited time. They tried to do the red herring thing with her, like, towards the end, but like, it made no sense, and it just, like, it was so clunky. I thought they did a terrible job with her return. I understand that she's going to be a different version of Scream 4, but I thought you could have at least sprinkled some elements of it. It felt like people that don't know and understand the character decided to write this character, and they just didn't know how to bridge it. I thought she was terrible in the movie. I really did.
Wow, Jake, what are we doing with Hayden's character here, man?
I agree with a lot of Fate's points. I don't hate her that much, though. I think it was a cool reinvention of the character. I wish it did more for the story, but I also feel like a lot of that is overshadowed by Gail specifically in Scream 6. Like if it was just Kirby in that role of, like let's say she was the one to discover the the shrine 100%, because the Gail kind of has that back and forth there. I just don't think a lot of that works. I think if there's more focus on Kirby as a character rather than Gale Weathers in that film, it might have been a little better. I do agree this was a little underdone, but I do like her going to the FBI because of what happened to her in Scream 4. That's a really fun evolution of this character. And again, I also feel like a lot of people are like, well, they brought Kirby back, so why can't they bring Stu? Well, it was between one movie. You know what I mean? It was 4 to 5. Okay, she's alive. That's a whole different thing. But anyways, Kirby, I like this reinvention of the character. I think it could have been done better for sure. But Carnage Candy for me, like probably right where I feel the same way about Dewey in 4 as I do Kirby in Scream 6.
Okay. Hold on. Before I give my thoughts, Mark, that is a yes. Yes, Kevin is also helping to make sure that this story makes some semblance of sense. Okay, back to Kirby. Look, I think both of you guys made some really good points. I think that she was half cooked. The character was half cooked. There were some good elements there, and I think Hayden was trying to, do the best that she could do with it. But there was really no the way that the story played out. She didn't need to be there. The whole red herring thing, that was ridiculous. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, no, that's not going to work. So I'm going to break the tie here. I think we're going to have to go to Billy's mother, bro. That's where I'm going. I don't hate her as much as Fate does. But at the same time, I do agree. Her character, like I said, she was just half cooked. It was... I was actually a little upset about it, to be quite honest, because I was looking forward to her being back because I love the character and I love Hayden. Don't get me going. Okay, let's go. Let's go to our next character. We got good old Ethan Jake.
Oh my God! Now, bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, baby. Tell us.
No,
all the way to the bottom.
Ethan's a virgin loser. Put him at the bottom. That's all I got to say. That's really it.
All right, Fate.
Yeah, he's at the bottom.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck him, man. He's good. He's good. Listen, and it's no disrespect. All of these actors, they go in and they're just doing their job. But I just feel like in 6, there were just so many. Look at Lindsay. There were so many stupid moments. For Ethan, bro, you're on the subway and you're acting like you're not a Ghostface. What to Mindy? Why?
At that point, who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's for us. Dude, this is a movie. Do you in the movie universe? Anyways. All right. So that was so quick. Let's go to Sidney. Fate, let's start with you. We have Sidney in 5. What do you think?
Sidney in 5?
Sidney in 5. This is where we're gonna get crazy and chat, get ready for this. Okay, go ahead, Fate.
I'll be nice and say Carnage Candy. I mean, I could even go lower. She served no purpose. Like the only reason I would put her in Carnage Candy is because it's Sidney. It's great to see her. Love Sidney. Grew up with Sidney. Like, so there's some bias to it. But if we're being honest about the character, the story, like everything about her, like she had no purpose. Like the only thing she did was put the tracker on the car and then looks to Gail and goes like, "I learned it from you." So like you didn't even need her to do that. Like the only thing that was cool like was her shooting through the doors, right?
Yes.
Like that was cool. And like the "I'm bored." So cool. You got like 2 great lines and the whole movie that she was in. You didn't get any Dewey reaction, which I thought was just such a missed opportunity.
God, the biggest sin of all.
Yeah, like you didn't have to spend 10 minutes on it. It could have been a simple. She gets the phone call. She just kind of like, it couldn't even have been her just kind of like, all right, here we go. Like, and hands up and whatever, and then show like, I just felt like the Gail and Sidney dynamic. Like it was like they hyped it up. Like, oh, we're about to get the badass women. The final girls, here they come. They're about to tear stuff up, and like not literally, dude. Sidney and Gail show up, and Gail gets shot 3 minutes into it, and then Sidney has to go in alone. So we didn't even get the girl power, right? Like it's like everything about it was just terrible. Like I love Sidney. at best, it's Carnage Candy. If you want to put her in Billy's mother, I'm right with you.
There it is. There it is. Jake, what do you think, man?
I think this is definitely my least favorite Sidney performance, but I do think she brings a little bit of energy to that third act, which is cool. Again, I love the whole sequence of her just not giving a fuck, shooting through the doors. Like, I'm done with this shit. Like, I loved that energy. And I also love, her and Gail taking down Amber in the kitchen. I feel like that's an important scene to mention when it comes to her. A really cool Ghostface takedown, I feel, from 5. I got to go Carnage Candy as well. I think that, great character, but easily the weakest performance.
Okay. And I absolutely agree. It was a glorified cameo. Let's just be honest, man. Because it just didn't feel like her character had the weight that they wanted her character to have. You know what I'm saying? She's pulled out of it all because of what happened to Dewey. We don't get a real response to that. Like, this is your boy. In Scream 4, you guys had a moment. Dewey was always there for you, like she was in 3, hugging him like Dewey, blah, blah, blah. It's like you guys had a really cool friendship. And it just didn't feel like this character in 5 was the character that we expected from those years of friendship. And so I was really upset about that. I will agree, Jake, she brought some good moments in that finale. But I also felt like when you think of 3, right? Nev didn't have a lot of time schedule-wise to do 3. So, she was sporadic in that first half. And then, of course, the finale, she's right there. Like, it felt like that was an organic way to handle a character not being in a film a lot. Whereas in 5, it just didn't have that soul. So I agree. She's got to go to, and I hate saying it, it's Sidney Prescott. She's got to go to Carnage Candy, baby. It's like, wow, the truth is out there.
This is the only, that is easily the lowest too. I mean, like any other Sidney Prescott performance is going way higher for me personally,
Oh, absolutely. So. It's almost not even close. That's how strongly and it seems like you guys as well feel about, her performance. No, not her performance, but the way the character was designed in 5,
Yeah.
So, okay. Fate, let's have you start. There's our good friend Angelina, the second Ghostface from Scream 3. What do you people are gonna start throwing tomatoes? What do you think, Fate? Where does Angelina go?
Unless she is revealed as the second killer in Scream 7, unless they decide to have her tie in, I think she's fuck you. What did you look like?
Wow. That's a hot take, dude.
That is a hot take.
Is it?
Yeah.
She's an excellent character. I totally disagree.
No, she's an excellent actress. The character, what does the character do?
So much. Oh man, I'm gonna go on a rant here in a second.
Here we go.
Go ahead, Jake.
I think at least, I wouldn't say cream, but I would say fave scary movie. I think she's easily one of the best side characters in Scream 3, without a doubt. I love her being this character who so badly wants this role and just is so happy to be a part of Stab 3, and you find out all the things that she did to get in Stab 3, and it just lends itself to what is, in my opinion, the absolute best element of Scream 3, which is the commentary on the Weinsteins. This is a very tragic character who is also played off as a red herring, which I want to make a video about her being the killer or not, because I have so many thoughts about that regarding Scream 3. But I just personally, I love this character. I think the writing and just concept itself is excellent with this character and John Milton. Those two, I think that is just this secret dark element to Scream 3 that gives it so much weight. Because on the surface, right, Scream 3 is this goofy, silly Scooby-Doo movie, but then you look a little closer, and it's got this really dark commentary on some real life things literally happening with the franchise.
One of the darkest of all in the whole franchise.
Yeah. So this is kind of Angelina and John Milton are two of the biggest reasons why I really do love Scream 3.
All right. So you would go with favorite scary movie.
Yeah, and that might be a hot take, but she gives this movie that layer that makes me appreciate that third film so much.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, man. I have to agree with you, and Fate made a good point as far as if she was revealed canon, to be a Ghostface killer. You could look at things differently, but I'm just looking at just who she was in the film, and she just had this roller coaster of sorts. And I think it was a very nuanced performance that Emily had. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think some actresses would have just kind of been flat. Like, don't get me wrong. Like let's say Jenny McCarthy, for instance. And Jenny McCarthy is funny, but I don't think that there was much there that popped. Parker Posey and Emily were easily, for me anyways, the best characters other than the OG3. So I actually agree. I think we got to go with favorite scary movie, man. And Erica's face isn't getting his way right now. They're all into this thing, man. All right, so yeah, let's go to favorite scary movie for Miss Angelina. Jake, let's go to you next. This is going to be fun. Let's talk about our good friend Gail, and what do you think about Gail in 6?
Oh man, totally opposite than Angelina. I'm sorry. I love Gail, but this performance in Scream 6 is literally the reason why Gail has just gone down the list for me personally. I just do not I don't think she adds anything to Scream 6. I feel like this performance doesn't, I don't know. I hate to say it. It's one of my least favorite performances in the entire Scream franchise. And it's the writing. It's not Courtney Cox. It's just, what was she doing in this movie? It adds literally nothing except nostalgia. And here's a phone call with Gail finally. But I'm going to have to, sadly, I'm going to have to put this in fuck you.
Okay, Fate, what do you think?
The only reason I wouldn't put it in fuck you is because it is Gail, right?
Wow.
Like, so I do think that there is an inherent respect, right? It's the same thing I talked about with Sidney in 5, right? Like, I would put her lower, but just out of that respect for Sidney being the final girl. So I would personally put her in Billy's mother, right? If you want to put her in fuck you, that's fine. I have no problem with it. I would personally go Billy's mother just for the respect factor that it is still Gale Weathers. I think she at least warrants the respect of not being fuck you, but it's tough to say otherwise. If that was any other character not named Gale Weathers, it would easily be a fuck you. So
yeah. For me, I'm kind of I'm actually kind of in between those two levels, because I think that the character just, again, it was half cooked, but the way it was designed, I think Courtney was still Courtney. It wasn't like she sucked. It's just that she wasn't given that weight that I'm just talking about for me. She wasn't given that weight that I expected her to have, or that I thought that she should have. And of course, I think the attack scene, that should have been a kill scene, was great. It was fun, but it obviously led to another character living that probably shouldn't have. So I was upset with that. But if I just look at the characters in total, I have to agree with Fate, man. I think we will go with Billy's mother.
I can get into
it's still Gail. We're not talking about Ethan level ridiculousness.
Hey, I would respect her by putting her above Ethan personally. That's what I'll say. But
yeah,
look, for that chase scene alone, it was awesome. So I understand
it was
that, right?
Yeah, I'll give it to her, man. When Courtney was running, I was like, wow, there we go. You show them you can still move around, girl. It was a nice little scene. I really do. Shanta was saying her ducking Sam's punch, but not Tara's, was hilarious. I admit that was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's next up. We got Sidney in 4. Jake, Sidney in 4. Where we're going with Sidney in 4?
Cream, baby. That is probably my second favorite Sidney Prescott performance behind the original. And there's so many reasons. There's so many things I could point to, but her whole relationship with Jill and how it ends. It's heartbreaking. I think you want to talk about one of the things that traumatized her the most. I feel like it's this movie. I would be shocked if it doesn't get brought up in 7. I feel like this is the biggest, scar on her heart, essentially, in terms of family members. This was somebody that she knew, she was kind of a little close with, more so than secret brother Roman. I feel like this holds a lot more weight in her heart versus anything in 2 and 3. So Sidney Prescott in Scream 4, cream, baby.
All right. What about you, Fate?
I put her in cream too. If this was something where we were ranking Sidney and like each one can only have a category, then I think that'd be a different ranking because I'd put 96 above her, and I'd even put Scream 2 above her. I think you can make the argument either way. My argument for Scream 2 above her is because I still feel like she is in many ways still kind of the innocent Sidney, but still kind of tainted. Like I thought you got a good balance, right? Where Scream 4, everything that Jake mentioned. Also, you get the more maturity in Sidney. Like Sidney's, she's older, she's grown, she's a woman now, right? Like, and apparently she had children and a husband. It's just like is that, but like Scream 2, I think had like some really nice layers to her character. She's still kind of guarded, the distrust in Derek, but she wants to trust him. But she's being manipulated by Mickey and all that. Like I thought there were more layers with Sidney, which makes sense. It's a Sidney movie compared to or is more that. So, but for this sake, because it's individual rankings, I'm fine with Cream.
Okay. Look, man, I don't even have to think twice. This has got to be the Cream, all the Cream. I really enjoyed her in 4. I think you could see the maturity of Nev as an actress, and I think the story married that very well. Again, there were so many things that were so well done in 4. But it starts with Sidney. If that didn't work, whether it is by the writing or Nev's performance as far as how she tackled it, 4 would not have been as effective. So she's got to go to the Cream, man. She's all the way up in it. All right. Fate. Of course it was me. What do you think? What are we doing with Bailey?
Fuck you. That dude, it was terrible. I mean, even the acting. And I like Dermot Mulroney. I don't think Dermot Mulroney's a bad actor, but I just thought in this role, the way he delivered some of the lines, the way he this is what happens when you're doing my bed. It just it was almost like a parody version. It just him and Ethan I thought were just terrible. Ethan and for other reasons, but I thought Detective Bailey, the story, the motive, there's not one good quality in my opinion about or his story or anything personally.
All right. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, it's hard for me to disagree, dude. I think that, I agree it feels like a parody, but I think what's the one thing I do like about this performance is that at least if you're gonna play a disgruntled family member in Scream, this is apparently what they think sad grieving parents are like Looney Tune characters, and it's the biggest thing that does not work for me in the Scream franchise, and here we are doing it again. I think because Bailey does it even crazier and even more heightened than Mrs. Loomis, it feels like a parody of that. So I can kind of laugh with this character a little bit. So maybe I'm a little more sympathetic for it for that reason, because it just feels like we're making fun of that Scream 2 third act. I'm gonna be a little generous here and throw Billy's mother out there for him.
I look at Sarah. Sarah's bottom tier with his equally terrible son.
Yeah. He made me laugh a few times. I'll give him that.
I was just about I know Julie said if only Rachel were here to defend her man. I know, right? I kind of agree with you a little bit on that, Jake. I think that obviously there's a lot of things we can pick apart, but there were fine moments throughout the film before we got into that third act. Whereas for me, and I'm just saying me personally, Ethan was off my board the whole movie. I was just like, come on, bro. What are we doing here? I just didn't connect. You know what I'm saying? So as much as Dermot really jumped off of the cliff in the third act, I think that there were moments in the first half of the film, two parts of the film that he was fine with. So I could definitely save him from going to the fuck you to Billy's mother. I could go to Billy's mother.
He's also the worst cop ever in existence.
Yeah.
Sam is literally charging at him while he has his gun pointed, and instead of just shooting her and the movie's over, he lets her run, charge him, and tackle her. I'm like, this has got to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I love when he talks to himself, and the for some reason they thought we weren't gonna think that was him being crazy and talking to himself. Yeah. He's talking to a detective or something, but nobody's standing there. It's like he's crazy. He's talking to himself right now. What?
Oh my god, this is a good point, man. All right, let's go to our let's go to the next character. We got Stu Fate. Where are we going with Stu in the original?
We talk original, so we're not talking Scream 7.
No, we're not talking Scream 7. We're
Not
talking
yet,
about
at least.
96. Not yet.
It was Scream. I mean, that's an easy one. You know what I mean? Like, look, as much as people like to think I suck shit about Stu, I don't. I love Stu. I just don't want him to return. I just think he's great for the character he was. But I mean, 96. I mean, can't get a more perfect character. That's easy.
There you go. All right, Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Stu's like, I mean, he makes that first movie in a lot of ways, I would say. His
Doesn't he?
performance, it's so great. It's so funny. It's so memorable. And it is sinister at the same time. And I think that's so important to talk about because it's so easy to just be able to quote this guy and be like, oh, I'll be right back. You know, he's hilarious, but he's so chaotic and psychotic specifically, but he also has like this like very hidden level of misogyny. He's treating Tatum like shit throughout the entire movie. And there's so many hidden elements to this character that I just feel like are written to perfection. I love Stu. He's this secretly hidden evil villain hanging out with us the whole time. And he's great. He's a bonehead that I kind of love.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I'm going there too. It has to be the cream. And I'm wondering in the chat, is there anyone that would disagree with that level? Because everyone's going with the cream from what I can see. We can't get to everyone's comment, but I'm just seeing cream being all over the place here. But is there anyone is there anyone that thinks he shouldn't be the cream? That's what I'm wondering.
What website are we on right now, guys? Oh,
exactly. Oh geez. Look at Hollywood guy, you are joking. Hollywood guy said dog water. You know you're joking. Come on, let's be real. I will also say this to your point. He said, I'm kidding, of course. I know you are. You got a heart. I will also say this, Jake. You're right on the money because there is that sinister side of it. There's those couple of times where you really look at the way that Matthew, he has this stare about him that looks like, oh, you know, he's Mr. Fun, but watch out, you know, don't cross him. And it's funny because in a horror movie with all of these plot points playing, he was able to be that over the top, but still appeal to people and still be able to be the killer. And you bought it. You're like, yeah, I buy it. And he's a good killer. You know, that's a tricky balance to have. And Matthew was able to do that, which I still marvel at all these years later, because it's so tricky to be that over the top and zany, but to not irritate me. You know, I'm talking about me personally, but I know you guys agree. So yeah, great job. Okay. And we got Christopher in the chat. What's up, Christopher? Good to see you. We got Jake. Next we got Judy. What do you think about good old Judy?
Is this Scream 4 or Scream 5?
This is 5.
Oh, okay. I think I like Scream 4 Judy a little more than Scream 5 Judy. And my only thing there is her whole little sequence in the middle of this movie is absolutely a standout moment of Scream 5 with her and her son. And I think the whole conversation in the car is really funny. I like animated films and musicals or whatever she says. That's ridiculous. But she does have some like kind of stilted lines earlier in the movie. Maybe that's just me. You know what I'm talking about? Like she says something to Wes like to open up this scene, and she's like, "Are you being safe, honey?" And I'm just like, "What? No, what mom like says it in that? It just feels a little unnatural." There's a few moments of that early on in the flick with her. So I'm gonna say Carnage Candy. Okay,
all right, that's fair. Fate, what do you think?
I could get on Carnage Candy. I mean, same thing with Billy's mother. The only reason I probably put her in Carnage Candy is like Jake said, that scene with Ghostface, and then also the emotion, right? When she starts breaking down, when she goes from trying to be tough and trying to crack the jokes and the one-liners and stuff to like the reality that like her baby's about to die, and she's just like, you have that emotional moment where she's like, he's a good kid, like, and then you have her running up to go try to save her son, and you think like, oh, she's about to walk in on him dead, and no, she doesn't, because she never gets to the door, right? I just thought the whole sequence would put it in I think elevates her enough. But yeah, I mean, Scream 5, again, it's just a character. I mean, you could have had Wes as a character and not had her in the film at all, and I don't think it would have changed anything.
Yeah, I agree. So you're gonna go with Carnage Candy as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I can agree with that, and to your point too, Jake. I agree. There were some moments where, and you guys might remember, I was so excited, for her to be back, because I really love the character in 4. I think Marley is fantastic. Definitely not given enough to do career-wise. I think she's so talented, and another great final girl from back in the day. So she comes into this film, and there were a couple moments where it just felt like it just didn't click the same way. And who knows, maybe it was, I don't know, it's hard to say, but it didn't feel as on the money as I would have liked. Still love the character, and of course that scene was just great for a lot of reasons. But I agree, I think she's got to go right in the middle to Carnage Candy. Okay, let's just do a couple more. We're running low on time here, guys. But Jake, what do you think about our good friend Richie?
I love Richie. This is a character that gets a lot of crap. Jack Quaid is one of those guys who's just built to be a Ghostface, and we cannot we can't overlook that casting decision, because I just think it's perfect. And he is obvious. I think it is kind of, that's a big negative with his character. It's kind of like, okay, well, yeah, of course it's Jack Quaid, but he plays it so well. I mean, what I mean by saying he's a perfect casting decision is, he can do both. He can be the, caring boyfriend that's there to support Sam half the movie, but then also have that sinister side of him. And we not only see that in Scream 2022, but also in Companion from earlier this year. I just feel like he's made to be that kind of character, but can also just play loving boyfriend in other movies, or just villain. He can do both really well. And I think that performance alone, I think, just gives him so much cred for me. I got to put him in Fave Scary Movie.
Okay. Fate, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Fave Scary Movie. Like, it definitely isn't Cream. I also think if they didn't spoil him in the trailer, I think it would have been. I mean, I do think he was obvious to an extent, but I think it wouldn't have been it wasn't Billy level obvious, where it's like, this guy's like, this is too obvious. There's no way he can be the killer, and he is the killer, right? Like, I think that you could have played it off. Like, there was elements of like, is this really Billy or is this Derek? Right? Like, at times he's too perfect, but like, but like, it's not like Derek was like hopeless romantic perfect, right? Like, he was like what they make like rom-coms about, where it's just like, this is unrealistic. Like, there's no way that this guy that's gonna happen in real life, right? Like, and that's what Derek essentially was. He's dancing on tables and stuff, and doing all this crazy stuff. Like, Richie, I don't think was that extreme. I thought it was just enough of a line to where you're like, is he Derek or is he Ghostface? Like, you could see it going either way, and then ultimately becomes Ghostface. Again, obviously, if they didn't spoil it in the trailer. But yeah, so I'm not against. If you want to put him in Fave Scary Movie, sure, we'll put him in Fave Scary.
Okay. I have to agree. I think he's just such a talented actor, and during the whole movie, I thought he was one of the highlights. He was just like engaging. He's got charisma up the wazoo, of course. I mean, again, when you talk about his parents, I mean, the apple did not fall too far from the tree, man. It really didn't. He's fantastic, and like you said, Jake, and we've talked about it before, he can do it all. He truly can. He's convincing as an everyman. He's convincing as an absolute asshole. He's convincing as a hero. It's like his career, the spectrum is wide for Jack. So I have to agree. I would go with favorite scary movie. I'd almost even consider The Cream, because I thought he was that good, even though it was spoiled, even though you kind of were thinking of him anyways. Still, it was just, he just nailed it. But I'll go with favorite scary movie. I'll go there. Okay. Samara Weaving, Fate. What do we think for 6?
I mean, given the because I mean, it's really hard to judge her character, because she had like 2 minutes of screen time, and like,
right.
Was there. I mean, she's the opening scene. I like Samara Weaving, but it's not like we actually got to see her in any real capacity of the movie, she was Ghostface fodder. She was there. I would give her. I'd give her fave scary movie just given the context, right? Like, well, again, because it's the overall package, right? Like, I can't judge her character on, because like, was her performance great? Sure, right? Like her death scene, I thought, it was believable. Her kind of playing going from like the jokester to like, like the whole like, oh, I can't believe I just said that, right? Like the whole dialogue scene, like her animations, her reactions, things like that, to go from that to like excited to see the guy to like, oh, like he might be in danger, like what is happening, to like now you're dead, like that array in just such a short period. You saw 15 different emotions all being portrayed in a matter of seconds, like boom, 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 right? Like, so I mean, the fact that she can even do that in such a short span shows the level of actress that Samara Weaving is. So I got to credit Samara Weaving for that. I wasn't really a fan of Jason and Greg. Like I like the idea, and I thought it was executed well. Like I get what you wanted to do, but like if we're talking about Samara Weaving, again, we only have like this small sample size to really go over with everything else. Like she wasn't fuck you, she wasn't Billy's mother. Like, you put her in Carnage Candy, sure, but I think given her performance in just such a small sample size, I mean, I think she was better than half of the main characters. I like her. I liked her sequence better than Ethan, Bailey, Quinn. Like, you know what I mean? Like Greg, Jason. You didn't even get to see Jason. He's just chilling in the fridge, talking about taking the day off. Wow, it's just or Greg, whatever what was in the fridge, right? Like that's my thing. Is that like I thought she did a great job. So I would put her fave scary movie.
Okay, Jake, where are you going with it?
Fate convinced me, dude. I was gonna say Carnage Candy, but I gotta agree. I really do love how much she is able to pack into that small little sequence that she has. So I'm gonna say fave scary movie because I don't mean to sound, I don't mean to parrot here, but I do think that she does give off I learned so much about this character so instantaneously. And there was a big problem I had with Scream 5 with our new folks. It took forever to get something out of them. And with Samara, I mean, that was another reason I liked Scream 6 so much. I mean, I just immediately in that opening scene, all the issues I had with 5 just kind of whooshed away with a lot of the new people they were trying to set up. So I gotta love this character. Fave scary movie.
All right, I agree. She was awesome, and I think it was a great opening. And you guys said it. She was able to do so much in a little bit of time, and I also think she was so convincing. That's the thing that got me. Like I truly was vibing with her, and yeah, you could sit there and say, well, it's the opening kill that kind of amplifies things, but that's all we can go by. That's where she was, and that's where we're gonna go with it. What were you gonna say, Fate?
No, I wanted to add something because like I basically talked myself into it too, and now I'm even more pissed off because
wait a minute,
hear me out for a second, okay? So one of the big problems and complaints we've had with 5 and 6 is character development, right?
Yeah.
Like they just haven't really developed characters in the way that like past Scream movies did. But like now that I really break down and think about Samara Weaving, she might be, I mean, Jake said it. We learned so much about her in such a short period of time. That might have been the best character development in 5 and 6 period, given how much we learned in such a short period. You learn she's a little goofy. You learn that she's a doctor, or not a doctor, a
professor,
professor in slashers and stuff like that. You learn she's like even though she's this pristine professor, she still like gets giddy about a date and and has her insecurities, right? She's dressed up, she's gorgeous, she's in this just like beautiful ensemble. She's a professor, so she has this pedigree and this prestige to her, and yet she's still she has the insecurities about herself. Like you learn so much in such a quick sequence, right? I mean, again, I've argued like and Annika, I mean the Meeks twins, we've had 2 films, and I feel like I know more about Samara Weaving's character than I do in them in 2 films. Like, it's just, but that's what pisses me off more is like they showed with Samara Weaving in the 3 minutes that she was in, that they were able to build a character enough to where we cared and have her remembered, right? Like, again, like I mentioned, she's better than Bailey, Ethan, like Quinn, right? Like, they're like half the characters in this film. So it's like, why? Like, if you could build Samara Weaving in a matter of seconds, you can't build a character over the course of a film or several films? Like, that just pissed me off, like, genuinely.
I can tell.
I already was pissed off about the lack of character development. The fact that now that I really break it down, they developed a perfect character in a matter of minutes. And they couldn't do that with anyone else. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Like, think of how quickly they developed Samara Weaving's character.
I love the snapping too. That's giving the extra pop to it, man. You're really hitting it.
The passion here is wonderful.
Yeah, I love it. No. You made a great point. I do agree. They did a lot of great stuff with her, and it's like, why can't you do that with the other characters? There's no doubt. Yeah. All right. So Miss Laura Crane is going to favorite scary movie. There you go.
Rants are gonna be. There we go. Hey,
you did it.
Go. Now I know what my first one's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be.
So
episode 1.
All right. So look, we're gonna do 2 more. We got to do 2 more. Fate, let's have you start off. We got Chad. We got the Terminator in 6. Where are we putting him?
Terminator in 6.
He's the Terminator. It's Chad, bro. You
know. Oh, Chad. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
wait a second. Who else was it going to be?
I heard something completely different. The picture was too small. I can't see who you're moving around. Chad in 6. I mean, I liked them better than 5. If I'm being honest, like I thought they did a better job. 6. I'm not a fan of 6, but I did think like at least the core 4, I thought they did a better job building those characters. Mm-hmm. I want to like Chad a lot. I really do. I like him more than Mindy. I think Mindy's a terrible character. Chad, I think has a lot of potential. I would probably put him in Carnage Candy because it's like, what do we really know about him? I liked his profile. I like Mason Goody. Right? It's part of the reason he keeps surviving. But it's just like I can't get past like all of the little nuances about him. Like I can't get past how he gets butchered, you ruin scenes, and it's not him. Like it's not Mason. It's literally the writing. Like you have one of the greatest scenes in Scream franchise history and you ruined it. Like it's just again, but Chad is involved in all these like shitty moments, and it's like, or all these, it's just like, or disappointing moments. So I don't know. I'll put him Carnage Candy personally.
All right, Carnage Candy. Jake, what do you think?
I like 3 out of the 4 core 4 members. I think totally rock for me personally. I really like Chad. Is one of those characters just like Dewey, who I think you just fall in love with immediately. I don't know. I don't need to know his social security number for me to fall in love with him. But I think he's great. I think the character development they do with him here especially is just such a step up from 5. It's less, fuck you, Mindy. It's more, here's this actual relationship we're building between him and Tara, and that has a really nice little misdirection. And even though his kill gets undone at the end, isn't that exactly the same thing they did with Dewey in Scream 2? I love this character. I think it's fun, and he's clearly trying to be like a new modern age Dewey. So I'll put this character in favorite scary movie.
Okay. For me, I gotta agree. I think favorite scary movie is where I would go, because I think that they did do a much better job to let these characters be at the forefront, and I really liked what they did with Chad. Other than surviving how he did, I think that was kind of, it was crazy, but I won't go down that road. But I loved the chemistry that he had, as far as the core 4. I did really enjoy the chemistry he had with Jenna. I thought it was sweet. It didn't feel too cheesy. They didn't go too far with it. And I actually felt the weight of it at the end, and especially when he's trying to obviously save her, and then it looks like he's dying and she's going to run to him. Like, I actually felt that. So I agree. I think he's got to go to favorite scary movie. I thought he did a hell of a job in this film. and we'll have to see what he's going to do in 7. Last character, Jake, you know who it is.
Oh God,
it's your favorite, Billy's mother. What do you think, Jake? This is the last one.
I just don't buy it, and I don't get it either. How do you get the script and you're like, okay, you're going to play the character of somebody's mom. You're going to play a mom who lost her child and is killing people out of revenge. Why is the approach to that character Looney Tunes character? I don't. It does not compute in my brain. It does for so many other people. This is my biggest Scream hot take. This character is awful. I mean, capital A awful. Wow. It is. I don't know. It doesn't work for me at all. I think it actually puts such a major blemish on Scream 2. This is my rant of the night. I think that Scream 2 is next to perfection, and Billy's mother comes in like a wrecking ball and totals that thing right at the end.
I had a Miley Cyrus moment.
That song should have started playing if it existed back in 1997. Fuck you. Sorry, this character's awful.
Wow. All right, Fate, what do you think?
They did so much character development, and they really built her character.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't, dog. They did more. They did more. You're wrong. They did no character development for her, dog.
You just don't understand the character, and that's fun. If you don't like it, then that's fine. But I personally, did I do a good Jake?
You did. You did an excellent job.
Thank you.
We're swapping roles right now.
That was cute. That was funny, Jake. That was funny, man. Oh gosh.
No,
all right,
I don't think she's fuck you bad, but I don't hate it. What's going on, Critical?
What's up?
I'd probably put her in Billy's mother just because it's Billy's mother, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Jake really missed the opportunity. The key with the rant is you can't lose perspective. You still got to stay.
I'm still learning.
You got to hit the home run,
right? Like, you got so caught up in the rant, you missed the opportunity with Billy's mother, and that's fine, it'll come, young Padawan. But it'll
your skills are now complete.
I would put her in Billy's mother. Like, they try to do the whole misdirection thing with her, Debbie Salt, all that stuff. But I feel like she doesn't, like, all she does is just kind of, she's just there to kind of poke Gail the whole time. And, like, she's there to try to, like, create this misdirection. If they're copying Woodsboro, then maybe it's somebody from Woodsboro, like, trying to put the doubt, like, that it might be, like, Gail or Dewey or whatever. But I just think it's so poorly executed compared to, like, what we see Mickey do and how dude, the manipulation from Mickey in Scream 2 is, like, godly. Like, that alone, the way he is able to, like, from just planning in her head, like in her head at the hospital to, I
love that scene.
To canceling, like, he shows up at the theater dressed as Ghostface to taunt Sidney, knowing Derek's coming through the door in a minute, but he tells Derek, hey, I can't go pick up Sidney because I have to film something. And so can you do it? He sets up the entire thing knowing Sidney is going to see Ghostface, run into Derek, and now think, oh my God, like, you're not even supposed to be here. Why are you here? Right. And I just saw Ghostface. Like, the manipulation skills are otherworldly. And that's what I thought with, like, they try to do with Debbie Salt with, like, the media, right? Like, she has all the reporters and stuff, and she's, like, talking out loud, right? Trying to get, like, like, she's trying to tell the media something so they stir stuff up. But I just felt like it was poorly done. So, anyway, Billy's mother.
Yeah, I can't. And look, Sarah came in with a super chat. Thank you so much, Sarah. Mrs. Loomis is a national treasure. How dare you? Oh man, Sarah, thank you so much. By the way, I can't go with the fuck you. I mean, look, you gotta.
I wouldn't go that low.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that low. And I know Jake is like, do it. But
do it.
Laurie Metcalf, you got to give her credit for just turning it up to 11. I don't think it was a total screw up. I agree. There wasn't enough character development, and you saw it a mile away. But I can't go with fuck you. We got to go with Billy's mother. And that's where it should go anyways, right?
No. No,
Jake's
no,
like,
it shouldn't.
no. That was good.
Killed Mickey
Bro.
dead.
Oh, you're the best. That was good, bro. Seriously, Jake, I'm telling you, you should just do a video where you rant on Mrs. Loomis for like 20 minutes.
I'm dead serious. I am doing a
Oh my God.
I'm doing some deep dives on the Scream movies, and there will be a whole blurb about Mrs. Loomis when we get to 2.
God, I love it, man. All right, guys, we're gonna pause it there. We got a lot of other characters, but there was no way we were gonna get through all this anyways. We're gonna.
If you want,
what was that?
Because I'm next week, right? On Monday. It's my Monday, right? Yeah. So
yes.
You can, even though I'm the host, you can share your screen, right?
Yes, I can.
So then why don't we just continue this on my stream on Monday?
Yeah, we can do that.
Because people like this, it's fun.
Yeah.
So you can just, because you already have it made and done, just keep it, and then we'll do my stream, and then you can just share your screen.
Yeah, we can do that. That'd be fine.
Now we have Monday's topic. There we go.
Yay! So for you guys in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. You guys were absolutely cooking, and we appreciate all of you for hanging out with us and just getting together, having some fun, and talking movies. That's what we love to do, and glad to have you here. And Gory Tiger, good to see you there too. Awesome. So look, guys, have a good night. We love you guys, and as always, Jake, I was about to say your thing, man.
Don't forget to kill it out there, guys. Thanks for stopping by Killjoy Jake tonight.
You know what I was thinking? Let me stop for a second. I was trying to think about how, the whole joke with Fate, and, I love Halloween Kills. And for some reason, I was thinking about that moment when yours popped up, and I was literally about to say it. What is going on? This is crazy. No, seriously.
The disrespect
from the Halloween Kills Collective. Goodbye, everybody.
I'm right here, and the disrespect.
I'm sorry. I love you, Tyler. All right, seriously. From the 4 dudes, and we all love Halloween Kills. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.